Hi, my name is George Giese, and I'm a member of the church here at the sanctuary. And we love this church. We've been coming here for about 5 years. But an incident happened about 3.5 years ago that I want to share with you. About 3.5 years ago, we were at a 9 o'clock service, and just during the time of the worship, I fell unconscious. And sitting alongside my wife, she looked down at me, which she normally does, and my eyes were up in my head, and all she saw was the whites of my eyes, and she was very frightened and called a couple of the big strong guys that were sitting in the aisle across from us, and they came over and determined that I needed some help because I was unconscious. And anyway, Beverly also asked that Michelle Smith to join us, and she's a respiratory therapist and a nurse, and she came over and determined that I didn't have a pulse and that I wasn't breathing. And all this time I'm unconscious, and it was just a party to it. That was about all. And but they carried me into the pastor's office, and Pastor Jay began to pray over me, and Beverly tells me it was a very, heartfelt prayer that really encouraged everybody. But I was gone, and they continued to check for vital signs and determined that I had none. And so after several minutes went by, apparently Michelle got down on her hands and knees and pumped on my chest, and she made one press, and I felt a sharp pain inside of me, and I was awakened. And I said, "Michelle, did you do that to me?" And she kind of laughed, and we chuckled a little bit about it, and Pastor Jay immediately jumped up and said, "He's back." And he actually saw, what he said was, I actually saw his spirit come into his life. And so I was so encouraged from there, and I went into the hospital, and they determined that they could make this happen again, so they installed a couple of medical devices inside of me to prevent that from happening again, or at least try to get me back should it happen again. And but this was 3.5 years ago. We're still here and full of life, and feel very encouraged to be at the sanctuary, because this is a church that believes in healing and the faith, miracles, and that type of thing in your life. And so I'm here. I can testify that I was dead, and now I'm alive.